Hello, hello, people of the world. How we doing? It's my second live stream of the day. We're just going live today, baby. Um, what's up, Philip Joseph? Long time fan, long time friend, I would say. How we doing? I see you in chat. I don't know what time that was. Maybe it was recent. Maybe it was here earlier. Who knows? But we're here for a live discussion of Midnight Mass. I want to wait a second for people to get in here. Um, hey, Vinny, what's up? New fan, he says. Vinny, I noticed your comment. It was really cool and nice of you on my Midnight Mass review, so appreciate you. I noticed all of it. So thank you. Thank you for being here today. Um, so yeah, I'm here to talk live with you guys about Midnight Mass. Here's my final warning. Spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the show, please leave and come back because we're talking all spoilers. This is the final warning for Midnight Mass spoilers. We're talking the whole season here. So um, let's jump into it. So any thoughts you have, anything you want me to comment on, or I'd love to hear your thoughts just in general about the show. I think this is a very divisive show. I think it's an exciting time for Mike Flanagan, though, because his shows are just becoming divisive in a sense. Like, I think everyone has to respect him. He's so talented. Um, but you never know what you're going to get with him now. It's kind of like, it's interesting, like, because he's always doing different projects that don't really lead into each other, which I like because it's always something new he's doing, like fresh. So you're always like, okay, what's coming this time? So like I had said in my review for Midnight Mass, I was really excited for this one because unlike Bly Manor, he was directing every episode here like he did with Haunting of Hill House. But, I had my issues, which you guys know of, and I'll slowly highlight through. But, the thing that you could see is that with Midnight Mass, for me, thematically, it really stuck with me. I could tell, obviously, like Flanagan had said in his letter he wrote to press when he let the screeners come out, that it was a personal, very, very personal story for him and that he grew up an altar boy. Um, so, you're looking at it like he's writing that character of Riley to what he's experienced. And you're really funneling, I believe, probably his belief system through Riley. And the best part of the storytelling, I think, was through Riley. I think Riley was a great character. Um, but clearly, the scene stealer here and correction, big mess up on my part. I'm thinking the actor's name is Hamish. It's Hamish. Hamish Linklater. So forgive me, Hamish. Forgive me, people watching that, because that must have drove you nuts. It is not Hamish. It is Hamish. But Hamish Linklater, obviously a scene stealer. And like I'd said, it happens a lot actually in shows, but he is the case, I believe, where, when he was on screen, if it was his scene, it was great. If he was not part of the scene, it was okay. And I had said that, you know, the priest here, Pruitt, he, if he was in the scene, you were really interested, and to me, always brought me on the edge of my seat. And that's a tribute to the performance of the actor, but there was a lot of intrigue and mystery to his character. When he was on the scene, I'd made that comment, maybe a little exaggeration, but it did feel at times like Seventh Heaven. Now, this isn't new with Mike Flanagan. I mean, I saw a meme that I actually agreed with, and I'm quoting a meme here, which is not great, but I'm doing it. So, there's a meme where someone's like, if you like, where it gets a little sappy in the monologue, something along that line, like long monologues and sappy, like end of Hill House, you're going to love Midnight Mass. And this bled into Blind Manor, where I had that complaint about one of the characters. I forget her name, but she was talking to Victoria Pedretti's character. Victoria Pedretti looked like she was going to fall asleep of boredom because it was like a 10-minute monologue that was just too much. So then he like upped it this time, which really brought it down for me compared to his other projects where it was ridiculous. Like I will die on that hill that it was overkill. I don't care. You can say all you want. The writing's amazing. Oh, you're not getting it. It's not that I'm not getting it. It's not that it's not good writing. It's not real. It's not real people talking. It's people reading a poem, like Jesus, like it was so much, and to push monologues that long in a TV show is really tough because it's a visual medium. It's not you're not reading a book. It's not an audio book. It's not a play, which is totally different. You can get away with that, but TV, then you're making me use my imagination for 15 minutes. That's not what I'm there for television. I'm not there to work that hard in the brain to take the dialogue and put a picture to it that long. It's just not effective. That's not how great shows and movies are made. So he really likes to break that rule. And I just think he needs someone to chop it down, and really's got to trust someone else's opinion, because I do feel like there's a sense of him getting a little too much Flanagan into Flanagan. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Vinny, do you think that viewers with a background in organized religion, particularly Catholicism, find the show more frightening? Um, I would say, to your first point, I think viewers that have a background in organized religion of any type, like you're saying, I wouldn't say particular Catholicism, even though Catholicism is like what we're going for here in the show. I would say organized religion, you can relate, to everyone's met a Bev. If you've been in organized religion, you know a Bev, you've met a Bev. That's why I like that character of Bev. And of course, Samantha Sloyan was amazing as well. And yeah, I mean, that's what's interesting too, is like Bev was so effective because she was so just unlikable. And I did like too, they didn't really give her character a turnaround, which I thought was the right thing to do. Like, that she went all out as like this just evil person, because it had to show those type of people, because a lot of times they don't change. And she like literally tried to survive at the end there still, like just didn't grow, which I thought was right for that type of character, just to kind of push the theme home. But I'm looking at my general notes here for the show, and anyone again who's here, you can leave your thoughts in the chat, comment anything about Midnight Mass. Love to hear your thoughts. I'll answer anything too. Um, so I'm talking about, it's a personal story. I really appreciate that Flanagan, you know, made it to a T. Like I said in my review, and anyone who's here, if you grew up Catholic, you're in a Catholic mass, he nailed it. Like, it's perfect, exactly how it is. Um, but I like that he had the episode titles, or like the Book of Flanagan to me, where he had the chapters. I really love how when the priest Pruitt is doing his confession, it cuts between those panels here, like the Stations of the Cross, but it's just stations of what this story we're seeing, which was great. I told you I love the choral music. Some people didn't like it. I loved it. I actually downloaded some of it on Spotify. I thought it was great. And like I said with acting, you got Samantha Sloyan and Zach Gilford here as Riley, Hamish Linklater as Father Paul, and then Kate Siegel is where I'm going to change my thoughts on saying amazing acting, and that she was a disappointment to me. Now, Kate Siegel is a fan favorite in these Flanagan projects, rightfully so. She is so talented. This is not a knock on Kate Siegel. Like I said, I think she was miscast. And I think that she is not like fit for that part. That's just this very normal part. It's not her. There's so many actresses that kind of fit that bill. It's not Kate Siegel. Kate Siegel, she has such a presence on the screen, which is a good thing. But what comes that is like, she has to have some kind of edge. It's like if you were to cast like a Ryan Reynolds in a plain guy role, you can't do it. Like they are too much of a powerhouse of force. So it was almost distracting and took me out of it. Like, it's not her. And she kind of, to me, didn't bring her best with some of the stuff in the hospital, in particular, like the scenes with the doctor. I did not think she did great. Yes, the stuff she did in the monologues was powerful. She was good at it. She was good in the end there. Good scenes with Riley. I did think they actually did have chemistry. I saw some people thought they didn't, but I just, again, thought some of her scenes, especially, with this doctor, were just really not great. I don't know what was going on there. Strange, very bizarre, but that's going to happen. I mean, there's actors I love, and sometimes you watch them in a part and you're like, okay, let me take my bias away and their previous performance and saying I really liked it, and then be like, oh, okay, maybe they're not perfect, they're still human, but not a knock to her. I think she's great. Oh, look, it's Connor Bracken, my boy. Steve is the man, he says. Connor, you're the man. Check out Connor Bracken's music. Connor, go ahead in the chat, plug your band, Mother Leeds band handles if you want. Go check out his music. He's amazing. A talented boy. Hey, Saranj is back. You were with me in the Nine Perfect Strangers stream. How you doing? Spending the day with me. Awesome. The Fall of House of Usher. Netflix just announced it. It's Mike's next project with Netflix after The Midnight Club. Okay, so just to clear confusion here. So The Midnight Club is his next project, correct? And I think he's only directing the first two episodes. And I think it's going to be actually young adult targeted this time. And then you said the Fall of House of Usher. What is that? If you can elaborate, is that actually a separate one that he's doing after? And is that for Netflix? Oh, you said it's for Netflix. Is it? What is it though? Is it like horror still? MA? I'm interested. I'm also interested to see if this guy he loves his drama. Like so. I don't even consider him that much. He always does horror genre, but I'm watching his shows really as a drama. He doesn't really do the horror as much. And that was also a disappointment of Midnight Mass for me is that he, always brings it with the drama and the character work. And that's always going to make Flanagan stuff quality as he goes for character. He knows that he's not a hack. He's not a sellout. He's not someone who doesn't know how to write a script. He does. And he's an actor's director. He gets great performances out of these people. I'm sure he makes them very comfortable in scenes. And that's a talent to him. But, Midnight Mass and Blind Manor weren't scary. Hate to say it. Haunting of Hill House was scary. So you can say it's psychological horror and it's horror like what it's talking about, which is true. But I do miss, like in Haunting of Hill House, moments where you have this empty hallway you're looking at. He's so good at scenes like just no light and you have no idea what the hell you're looking at and something is just going to pop out, but he toys with you. He does that like for a second here in Midnight Mass, like when we first kind of see the demon angel like in that cupboard, but we only see like his eyes. You get that hint there. That's scary, but he doesn't. That's it. That's all you're getting, like so that's disappointing because he's so talented at that. So I'd like him to lean into that still too, because that's kind of what we want is like we can find good drama a lot of places. I know that's crazy to say because a lot of it's garbage, but I think we get excited because we know he can also bring in that visual horror, which he's kind of pulling away from a lot, which is surprising. But what can you do? Okay, Vinny says it's a Poe-based story. I guess he's talking about the Midnight Club or Fall of House of Usher. Can you clarify that? Yeah, that's gonna be cool when he tackles Poe. That seems like a match made in heaven there. Yeah, and so my other notes about the show is that House of Usher. Okay, interesting. So he's got two projects coming up. Okay, breaking news by Vinny and Saranj. So thank you. The other thing I had about this show is that so there's so many walking scenes in this show. Like you see this happen with Riley and Joe. You see this happen with Aaron and Riley, and you can listen to directors, writers talk about this stuff, cinematographers. When you're blocking, like you want to keep it interesting visually too, even though the dialogue was pretty good in some of these moments, in particular with Aaron and Riley. Again, still a little too long, but it's a lot of walking and talking. It's got to be a more interesting way to make these relationships develop and ease up on reflective talking so much. It's kind of like The Walking Dead does that a lot, where they're like just talking about life and what they're doing and it gets redundant. You got to switch it up, and switch the scenery up too. I know they're filming during COVID, but you got a whole island to play with here. Would it kill to have a scene maybe of them again out on the boat, something like anywhere in a store? It was just them walking the same dirt road. So that felt lazy. Where I hated the show, I didn't hate the show in general, but where I hated it one time was episode 4. So what I've noticed is with Bly, this happened where there was an episode I thought was a masterpiece, and there's an episode I thought was garbage. And that's the same case here, where it was like back to back this time, though, right? Where episode 4 I thought was Flanagan's worse than, what was the one from Bly? The one where the Henry Thomas is grinning, the Jolly something. Oh my God, that was bad. But this one, where some people said they really liked it, but sorry, I'm not fooled by this. Just having philosophical combos on a couch for an hour. Like, come on. I mean, again, there's got to be a way you can do this more interesting. And everyone's talking like Shakespeare, so it's not realistic to me. It's frustrating to me, and it's so long. I mean, some people could say they're watching alone. They're like, man, this was awesome, whatever. Fine. It's so subjective. I get that. I'm just saying how I feel, but I'll tell you, smart TV viewers that I know, if we had 5 of us sitting in a room together watching that, I guarantee you we'd all look at each other at one point and be like, what the hell is going on? Why is this still talking? Why are they still sitting on this fucking couch? So, um, yeah, that's my truth, okay? And, you know, I give him props. So I saw some people complain with this, but I thought he did a great job at tying biblical, literature to the current story situations. That's got to be such a tough tough job. He probably had a research team with him having to find the specific biblical passage and story to all these situations. Very hard. It's a huge book, the Bible, so props to that. And props to Hamish Linklater perfectly portraying a good character arc laid out by Mike Flanagan, but it's the actor slowly going into madness. He did such a good job, and really a standout moment for me for him was the end of episode 3 when he's making his confession. That was a highlight moment for sure. And where I complain too, I know I'm complaining a lot, but that's what I have to pick out because this is kind of stuff that stuck with me. Because I want him to be his best, Mike Flanagan. This isn't me like looking to be high and mighty. I want the best he can do, which was in Hill House. Do it again. Don't get stuck in traps he does sometimes. And that happens here in episode 2. He does this long take. This is where I'm talking about where stuff can get a little pretentious, where you're doing this long take. People will gush over it, but at the end of the day, you go, what is it doing? What is it serving to the story? What is the purpose of it? It's literally like 15 minutes on this beach, the beginning of episode 2, of everyone just catching up with each other about what happened. And you just like, that is what I don't like. That is just really masking fluff as like, wow, he did it in one take. Like, we know he could do one take. We saw 2 storms in Haunting of Hill House, but that again had purpose, where this was just like doing it to do it. Okay, Vinny, let me see what you said. Do you think if this show were adapted to something like classical style play, it would land better with you in regards to all the poetic dialogue and monologues? Yes, 100%. If I saw this on the stage and I was watching scenes like that where they're on the couch, yes, I think it would work, but that's not for this medium. It's just not. That's not how you do this medium. It's not like time and time again, you think of the great movies and shows you've watched. Like you didn't have like Walter White sitting in a gas station for 15 minutes talking to Skylar about what he thinks about cancer. It doesn't work. It doesn't engage you. It's different. It's so important to know, obviously, what kind of medium you're on, how you serve an audience best through that medium. And it's different with all of them. I thought masterful moments, things that stuck out to me, like I was saying, was this moment here, because episode 4 I did not like, but then episode 5 was, I was going to say, is the masterpiece episode to me, because it ends obviously with this incredible moment with Riley and Aaron. That's Flanagan at his best. And you see the sun coming up. Amazing. But in that episode 2, I loved also when Zach Gifford here really brought it with Hamish Linklater, and they're having these great scenes when they're having these meetings. And again, these are a little better. These weren't long monologues to me. This was a conversation going back and forth, which is completely different. And it was high emotions. It works. And that was scenes of highlights when Flanagan's the best out of his actors. And that really stood out to me, especially in that episode. Really, really well done. And questionable things. It makes you think about, not even just religion, but certain programs we're accustomed to, like AA, how it works. He brings up RR, rational recovery. So it's a lot of stuff that's very new age and stuff people don't talk about maybe enough now. And it kind of puts a highlight at that. So props to him for bringing that up. I still in my head toss and turn thinking about, did he kill Riley too soon? Because I missed Riley in the last 2 episodes. Even though on second watch, I really did like the finale a lot more. It was actually stand out for me. And I'm going to give him props because Flanagan really stuck the landing for me in Bly Manor. I thought the finale was like second best. And that's same here. I think it's a great finale. I think he does a good job at tying the bows here with people. So that is a skill he continually proves he does, that he's going to at least not leave a lot of things where you're like, well, what happened to that guy? Or what happened with this? Or why do we get an answer with that? He doesn't really do that. He's good at that. Okay. Sir John, random question, but did you expect M. Night's Old to be successful box office wise? Because it was actually a pretty good hit. Budget was 18 million. It made over 90 million thoughts. Quick answer to that. Yes, because M. Night sells. That's why they keep giving him movies because he hasn't gotten great reviews on a lot of his recent stuff, but they always do pretty good at the box office, and that's why they're going to keep giving him movies to make. So when people are like, "Oh, he's making not great stuff. Why does he keep getting it?" It's because his name sells. They'll keep popping him out. He gets money, so I'm not shocked. That's kind of that's classic M. Night movie that's panned by critics, does well in the box office. That's M. Night Shyamalan's career. Um, yeah, and then the other thing I was talking about Midnight Mass too is like it's just the end of the day, it's not scary, and that's not a knock against the show. It's just as someone who's so like terrified by Hill House, people who go like, "Oh, I was shaking at Midnight Mass," and I was where, like when the when the demon vampire was wearing a robe, you were shaking, you were scared. No, you weren't. Like come on, like where you could say in Haunting of Hill House moments like when man, Theo and forgetting the sister's name, they're arguing in the car, and Nell pops up. That literally made me fall out of my bed. Like, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, Flanagan knows how to do that better than anybody, and he holds back now, which is frustrating. But that's a bias. Like, that's a preference. So I can't hold the show against that. But I do think if you're going to label your show horror, not just thematic horror, not just psychological horror, but come on, give us some of the visual horror. It's so little here. I also think an example too, which I was saying is frustrated with the sheriff here, with his monologue, you know, that was related to his experience in the police force. It's just where it's put, where that wasn't a bad monologue to me. It was more of why is he saying this to this woman he barely knows? Like that took me out of it. Like, because again, she would be like, okay, thanks. But, I get why you don't want to do something now, but you don't have to tell me your life story. I barely know you. So that's forced. That's forced in. Like, I feel like that sheriff monologue would have been great, somewhere in that ending moments, him with his son and Bev, because he did have that conflict with Bev. So somewhere in a bigger moment that would have landed better. It was just awkward of him just telling the doctor that in the office on a random any given Monday. Um, but I did give Midnight Mass an 8.4. And I had ranked it compared to the other shows where when I ranked all my Blind Manor scores, it was like 8.7. And I think Hill House, I landed at 9.4 or 9.6. So, you know, it's nothing to be concerned about in my eyes. Like it does feel like a little drop of quality each time by Flanagan, but I mean, he's still someone I trust and he's great. And I'm always going to be excited when he comes out with stuff because he's always going to give you payoffs and he does here too. But it's interesting because this one, like Blind Manor, it's divisive again. I not to toot my own horn, but I called that because you see the first critic reviews come out for it and they're like, it's a masterpiece. It's better than Hill House. It's like easy. And you could see like Hill House, for example, IMDb audience score right now still at an 8.6, where Bly thinks at 7.3. Midnight Mass is already at 7.8. So clearly it's not going to get to that level of consensus by fans of anywhere near Hill House. That's just crazy. And that's rightful so. But, you know, uh I think it's going to be interesting what he does next. It's interesting at the Midnight Club, if I read that correctly, reading about his next project, that it would be YA and he'll be a little more hands off on it. So that could go either way. We don't know. That's just okay. Not super excited about that. But what we're saying here, everyone's saying about the fall of House of Usher. I got to look this up. I wish I looked this up before. This is like breaking news to me. So excited for that. And look, Netflix is smart. Keep him on your docket. Don't let him go right for a competitor. He's a seller. Keep him in there. Um, and yeah, you know what I also like too about Midnight Mass is I liked he didn't do his usual like Hill House and Blind Manor. He has like that long intro. I actually liked he didn't do it this time. I think it was completely unnecessary for Midnight Mass. I think that was the right choice that he didn't do it. Um, what else about the show? Yeah, I mean, it was long and it wasn't many episodes, but the time of it's long and each episode's like an hour and 10 minutes. So it's like they're mini movies, which you appreciate because you're getting your buck's worth. But again, there's just dragging in it a lot. And a lot of people I respect opinions on, that I text about all these things with, one of my friends I really respect just thought it was poo poo. And my other friend who really liked Bly thought this was okay. So I don't know anyone personally who loved it, but again, it's subjective. And I do think at the end of the day, though, there's room for better for Flanagan. We know what he's capable of, and this isn't his best, but it's good. And I liked he recast people. But now I want to kind of see him, you know, maybe work with a bigger name. Not in all his projects. Keep using the Flanagan faces we know and love. But I want one where it's like a big name in the center. I want to see what he can do with that kind of talent. I wonder what you guys think about what you want to see Flanagan come up with next. And if you're still on board with him, what you guys thought of the show, any thoughts, I'll read it right here live for you. Vinny, of Flanagan's 3 main Netflix series, which world would you want to visit from just a fan perspective and why? Oh, Flanagan's 3 main. Oh, if I wanted to visit personally, phew, I mean, probably Bly, just because like I like that. Like it's weird to say, but I kind of like that gray, like relaxed. I feel like I relax there, in that huge garden they have and stuff. I don't know. That's a tough question. Where would you want to be, Vinny? And then yeah, I mean, why am I smacking my lips? I never do that, and I should not do that on mic. Sorry for anyone who that might set off. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great um Wednesday. Okay, here we go. Ellie Durden, how you been, Ellie? I thought the show was quite predictable. Were you surprised by the twist? Okay, so I was, but you know what? I'm not the best at like predicting stuff when I'm watching a show. That's not my forte. I'm not the guy at the party who's like, I called it. So hindsight, I would say to people I know who are good at that, they all predicted and said it was predictable. So I think you have something there, Ellie, for sure, because like watching on second watch is when I caught it, so I can't say anything because I was surprised. But you could see he really did give you a lot of hints, like a lot. But I did think what hurt and made it more predictable was the makeup, the age makeup, because I did know that actress who was playing. Geez, what was her name? Let me get her up because I'm a big fan of hers. She's in Flanagan's work all the time. I want to give her credit here because she Alexis Esso. She played. She's great in Doctor Sleep, and I love Doctor Sleep. I think it gets way too hard of a rap sometimes, but that's one of my favorite Flanagan things. Um, but Alex Esso was Mildred, so I noticed that it was the actress's eyes and the old age makeup. So it's like I almost wish I didn't know she was like knew her face well enough. Because then to me, I was like, well, wait a minute, why is she playing this old character if she's so young? So that was like a little bit kind of ruined it for me that, there's this de aging thing that was going to happen and she might have known someone there like a Pruitt. So yeah, it wasn't like the most like, wow, there wasn't really like the jaw dropping twists in this show for sure. Vinny says he want to visit Crockett Island personally, but Hill House is my favorite 3. I love it. I haven't seen Malignant. It's on the list, so I can't say anything. Please don't spoil. Ellie Durden, the age makeup was so obvious to me. I was sure people would start. Yeah, I know that's such a risky move. The age makeup, it's almost. But what are you gonna do, right? Tyler Dolly. Hello, Tyler. I love that the characters minimize this in a world where vampires don't exist. Really awesome twist. Or they seemingly don't know they exist. So you like that they don't know in this world? Because I know some people were turned off by that because they're like, how are these people not pointing out these are vampires, So but you like it. So cool. Thanks for joining here, Tyler. Yeah, so you know, I'm wondering what I don't know if you guys are big fans of Kate Siegel. She's gonna be in a Netflix movie. They just dropped a trailer for coming out. And I'm gonna get that up right now. So keep an eye on that because it's actually on Netflix too. Hypnotic. Um, it's drama, horror, thriller. So keep an eye on that. That looks good. Okay, Miranda Rojas. Maybe they didn't want to believe it. They believed in God's power. I like it, Miranda. I like it. Um, Yeah, look, I appreciate all you guys. You guys left great comments on the Midnight Mass video. Here's a question while you guys are here. My Midnight Mass review was really long. It was like 58 minutes, longest review I ever did. Do you guys like that, or do you guys like it shorter? I'd love to know. Just some feedback, please. Because it's tough with Netflix. It's not week to week, so I kind of just go all in on one video for it. Uh, Thank you, Vinny. He liked the length of the review. Because Hill House, I could do separate episode views because it was that important each episode. That's the difference, where Blind Midnight Mass, I could have picked maybe one or two episodes that deserved like a full on analysis of one episode, but it wasn't really the case. It's a different type of way he went about it. Where Hill House, that's what I want to see Flanagan do again, is like do specific, character stories in each episode. I do want to see him try that again because it works so well at Hill House. I am not. Oh, Squid Game. I heard. Oh, I'm aware of the hype. I haven't seen it yet. It's on the list. Miranda loves long videos too. Ashley, the long breakdowns awesome. Thank you guys. Wow. Tyler, I love it. It was really exciting when I saw the length review. Thanks. I really appreciate that. I mean, I always feel like it might be a turnoff to people, but I guess you guys watch it. The thing is tough for me is I do YouTube videos and YouTube reviews. I don't watch YouTube reviews. I don't watch YouTube interviews because like I don't know if you guys have experience with every field you're in, but like some people like to go see what other people are doing that do what they do. I can't because I don't want like my perception changed or what I'm doing changed. Like I have to, focus on what I'm doing. I read reviews. I've said this before, but I'm not into watching them. It's crazy. I love filming them, but I'm not into watching them. So I don't really know. Like I don't have a preference of my own, like with video reviews. So it helps me, you guys let me know. Thank you, Shmi. Long videos are great. Would you do a review of the Squid Game? Maybe if I have time. Like I said, I've been pushed out of the Succession. I didn't get the screeners. They're not giving them to me, but I'm doing Dexter. I got Dexter screeners 2 days ago. So I'm excited to see. This is like 13 years later, the show's taking place. So I'm definitely doing Dexter. So hang in for those. And the Wheel of Time, guys. If you haven't seen the trailer for Wheel of Time, good God, it looks amazing. So I'm doing it. Check out that trailer. All right, Miranda. I listen to them when I'm cleaning or driving. Awesome. Schlemmer Josh Gamboa. I think they were just so loyal to the religion that they rejected any explanation outside the Bible. In the Philippines, we have a pre-colonial vampire-like creature called aswang. But there's a big portion of the population that reject the aswang label to supernatural creatures and just call them demons, fallen angels. Interesting. So yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Ellie, damn, I'm so sad you're not doing Succession. I'm super sorry for the new season. I'm sad too, and I'm being bitter about it. But it's night and day when I can get screeners because it gives me time to review it and plan it, get it to my editor, the whole thing. And I feel like when I do shows that I don't have screeners for, which is usually rare now, I'm usually able to get them, which is great. I'm blessed for that. But then I just feel like my quality is not the same. Yeah, there we go. Pillar. I hope I'm saying that right. Harden. Dexter. Yes, can't wait. Woo. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to let you guys know how that is too. Let me know too with the Midnight Mass, right? That's a perfect example. Like, did you guys like also spoiler-free reviews? Did you watch that before? Or do you kind of just wait for the spoiler review? I like your thoughts on that as well. And are you guys like just horror fans? Do you like other types of show? I mean, I'm interested to know what Midnight Mass fans want to watch next. What's on your guys' radar? Okay, I only watched first 4 seasons of Dexter. Can I still watch a new one? Can you clarify in the review, please? I'm going to tell you the truth about this, okay? I watched the first 4 seasons of Dexter recently for the first time, and I thought it was great. And then season 5 got so bad that I fell out. And you know what I did? And I definitely think you can do this. This is with no spoilers, but just watch some really good recap videos. They take clips from each season, and they'll catch you up on those last really bad seasons of Dexter. I can't say bad because I haven't watched the whole seasons, but I watched the recaps and you can tell where it falls apart. But this season's taking 13 years later. There's like no one recast except Dexter. So, with that information, I'm sure you could just jump right into it and watch, maybe read a little bit about it. Um, and what's good, if people, like you're saying, you're worried about the show up till season 4, which is basically what everyone feels, the Dexter showrunner of season 4 and 1 through 4, who like did the good seasons, he's back for this season. So that should give you faith. I think they know they got to fix some stuff. I think with Dexter too, what you can do, this is my pro tip, and I've given this out before, and I do this. If you ever need to catch up on something or need to watch something to be able to watch something else, just go back and watch the previously ons on the shows. Like just binge previously ons because you'll get the main points. And it's like you watch like a mini season. You'll get right in there. Miranda Rojas, depends on the show and who's reviewing. I'll listen to some spoiler reviews before most of the time. I like to go knowing nothing or small amount. But Miranda, would you listen to non-spoiler reviews before the show? Does that interest you? Yeah, so with Midnight Mass, again, give me your thoughts, guys. Any thoughts you have, anything that stood out to you? Do you guys agree with these points I'm making? Do you agree? Go toe to toe with me. Do you think the monologues were amazing? Do you think it's fine how long they are? Do you think Kate Siegel is actually great? Do you disagree with me there that I thought she was miscast here? Did you not like Hamish Linklater and Zach Gilford? Is there anyone you thought was weak here? Please, any favorite scenes? Any moments you didn't like? Thoughts on the score? Did you love it like I did? Anything? Ellie, interesting about the showrunner returning. I probably will watch as well, but I think I'll wait to binge it. Also to see the reviews. Awesome. Yes, I meant non-spoilers. Okay. Thank you, Miranda, for the feedback. Love it. Yeah, so Pillar Harden says, I never watch spoiler videos if they are half and half. I'll just fast forward. Okay, I see. Ellie, so many monologues. I watched your no spoiler review and was prepared for them, but you were so right about them. Too long, too frequent. Thanks. Yeah, because not to name names, I never point shade at other reviewers, but man, I remember when I dropped my non-spoiler review for Midnight Mass, like the week it was coming out, you'll see like other reviews that come out too on YouTube. And I was just like scratching my head. Some of these people, man, they come on there, they put like the cover photo will say masterpiece, and like it's just them praising it. Like they don't point anything out. Like there's no constructive like criticism or, you know, it's just I can't, it just makes me so angry. I just feel like there's a lot of phonies out there, and just be careful. Be careful. Trust your mom and dad over these people. Okay. Schlemmer Gamboa says, I love the monologue together with the old makeup. It gave the show a stage play feel. See, but I don't like that. I don't want a stage play on my shows. No, thank you. That like when you see movies based off a stage play, it's because it has to be because it's off a stage play. But I don't like someone going in like, let's make a stage play, a movie, or a show. Like, I'm not into it. I think that's a problem. But hey, you liked it, so good on you. Did Bev poison the priest? There seems to be different interpretations of that moment. Yeah, that's a theory people have. I think that's left up in the air. Like you can kind of assume that maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Oh, there's Subversively Surreal. I was waiting for you. Where you been? How you doing? Uh, Derek Briggs. I never rewatched series, but I'm definitely watching Midnight Mass. Did you already see it though, Derek? Is this just episode 3? I'm almost spoiled. No, Peter. This is the full season. This is episode 3. I know this is confusing so many people, but when you see my videos, it says Let's Talk Live. That's the episode number of Let's Talk Live. It's my new series where I'm talking about something I reviewed. So we're talking about all of Midnight Mass here. So Peter, if you haven't seen the full season, get out of here. Come back when you're done. As my voice goes, I thought Bev poisoned him. There's a shot of her putting poison back. Interesting. Ellie Durden, I saw his reviews too. I believe them just want to please Netflix to keep getting screeners. You're right, Ellie, and they also want to keep getting interviews too. If everything is a masterpiece, nothing's a masterpiece. Simple. Ellie, preach. I totally agree. Shmee, I love the individual episode breakdowns though. I do too. Subversively Surreal. Que pasa? Translation, please. I should know that one too. I took Spanish in college and German in high school, and I can't speak a sentence of either. Derek Briggs. Yes, Derek. Wait, I don't even know what we're saying yes to. I forgot. Oh, he's rewatching. Got you. Just got off a really serious chat. Midnight Mass sounds like fun. I just saw Rosemary's Babies last night. Oh, so Versely, you haven't watched Midnight Mass yet, and you just saw Rosemary Baby first time. That's a favorite of mine. That is a great, great movie. Horror fans that are here, you need to watch that classic. That's top 10 horror for me, top 5 horror for me. Top 20 movie of all time for me. I think it's brilliant. But subversely, please let me know what you think of Midnight Mass when you see it. Oh, Ellie wanted more from Bev. Evil for no reason. I feel like we know the reasons, why she behaves. It's just that type of person we met. But I can see that criticism. Clayton Kelly, hi from Texas. Your Midnight Mass review is one of my favorites of yours. I didn't agree with everything. The scene on the couch was my fave. Okay. But I loved hearing your perspective. Thanks, Clayton. I appreciate that. See, that's how you say your opinion. Even if it's different, that's okay. It's just being nice about it, man. Some people can be rude in those comments. Woo! But thank you, Clayton. True gentleman. Yeah, I did see, some people love the couch scene, and more power to you. It just wasn't my cup of tea. All right, Tracy, coming in through. I'm doing 2 live streams today. She's the first one to give me a tip. Tracy, I love the suit in your picture. That's what you get for giving me a tip. A compliment like that. You run with that. You do amazing things today with that. You're so right. That's why I love your reviews, because at least I know I'm getting an honest review. A lot of people are scared to critique, and I don't know why. Yeah, because people say they're critics, like they don't know what critiquing is. Like, just saying, like, you see this in Letterboxd, you see this IMDb user reviews. That people a lot of times give out 10s like crazy. They just, again, label what the show is, and they consider that a praiseworthy review. Like, oh, this is a slow burn horror with a touch of this, and it's on the water, and it's atmospheric, and it's like masterpiece. But why? What was it to you that was like? They're just labeling stuff and not actually giving you analysis. Wait a second, Peter. So I haven't seen Squid Game yet, so no spoilers. But you're only giving it a 6.5. Does Squid Game live up to hype? People, tell me in the chat now. Sadie, definitely zoned out during all the monologues. Totally agree with you. Thanks, Sadie. We're on the same page here. What else? Yeah, guys, any thoughts you got? Also, any comments? Unfortunately, the Funko Pop days are over were behind me. The posters. I'm doing this new background. It's a new me, but I've always, believe it or not, wanted this background. I hesitated, but you know what? I figured I wear a lot of silly costumes, so I need to balance out the silly with the professional. And it works for my interviews too. I hope you like it. Let me know though. Maybe you don't like it. It definitely needs another steaming because it gets a little folded. But what can you do? You can only control so much in your life, even though I can control that. Vinny, the honesty in your reviews helps a fan like me to see something without the rose-colored glasses of being in the fandom. That's what I appreciate so much. Thank you, Vinny. And you know what the thing is, Vinny? From my perspective, I try not to have those rose-colored glasses because it can happen sometimes. Perfect example is when I review something by Damon Lindelof, because I am a fanboy of Damon Lindelof. But yeah, you're right. I don't want to have rose-colored glasses for anything I review. I got to be as unbiased as possible. And a lot of people have rose-colored glasses, a lot of stuff. Connor says, turns out it's not about Squid Game. Son of a bitch, Connor. Son of a bitch. Derek Briggs, yes, the Squid Game. It's great. Okay, that's good. Peter Griffin reminds me of 5th grade yearbook picture. That's really funny. I said that too. I said that in my other stream earlier. That was like, yeah, I'm at the site where they take senior pictures right here behind me. But yeah, it really highlights my bald head, which was the whole goal here. What else? So we've hit 45 minutes and we're talking about Midnight Mass. Connor, I love you, man. Did you watch Midnight Mass? Miranda Ross, I also zoned out on the couch scene. I promised myself to be able to sit through a lot. That's really funny. Yeah, me too. And I have patience for everything. I love good dialogue, but it wasn't real to me. It just wasn't real people talking. I love the callback to Lost in your Midnight Mass reviews, says Clayton. I totally thought about the dynamics of Jack and Locke with Riley and Paul. Yes, thank you. Thank you for noticing that. Yeah, totally. The Riley and Paul stuff was very Jack and Locke to me. I did see inspiration from Lost there. It was really, really reminded me of that a lot. The clashing philosophical viewpoints on life. Vinny says embrace the baldness. Hell yeah. Pillar Harden. Squid Games was awesome except for the last episode. Hated the ending, but definitely watch the second season. Okay. And guys, please don't spoil it. I also feel like it could have just been a one season thing. Second episode was boring. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's interesting. The one thing about Squid Game, it's so hyped up. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it, but everyone I trust just says I liked it, which worries me a little. I want to hear I loved it. Okay, at least telling us if Netflix ordered Edgar Allan Poe classic The Fall of the House of Usher for Midnight Mass. Yes, someone just told this earlier. This is breaking news to me. I'm excited. So Flanagan's got 2 projects in the docket here for Netflix. So awesome. Anyone watching the Monica Lewinsky series? So versely, what's so funny about saying that is, again, I was just talking about this where it's like there's so many shows out right now, like ridiculous amount that I'm forgetting things even came out. Like I was saying, like, how many people here even know that Morning Show season 2 is going right now, or Apple doesn't promote their stuff well. Like I said, they have Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista starring in a show, 2 huge stars, and they don't promote it. And then, yeah, Monica Lewinsky series, another case. Totally forgot that was happening until you said something. And I could even go on. Like I didn't even realize like American Horror Story happened. That's why I just don't think it's smart when some of these networks. I'm not just saying this because I'm someone who asks for screeners, but Netflix, like FX, they don't give people screeners like ever. So it's like I think it's the time you want help. You want people talking about your show because it's so competitive. It's so many freaking shows and streaming services. I can't keep up anymore. I used to feel like I could and watch all of it. I can't. It's like bittersweet because it's like you got to find your niche and there's something there for you. There's something for everyone now, which is good, but it's really hard to stand out in the crowd for sure. Hey, Steve. Jenny from Texas. How you been? Clayton Kelly. I was told Flanagan has been teasing Midnight Mass, has been teased before in his previous works. Yes, he put the Midnight Mass book was in Gerald's Game movie. You can look that up. That scene where the book's above her, and that's a great movie. And that's on Netflix. Please secure your Better Call Saul last season screeners. Yes, Better Call Saul team's awesome. AMC is awesome. They'll hook me up. Totally Kathy. Hi, Steve Riley. Hi, everyone. Squid Games freaked me out. Okay. Did you like it? And no spoilers. Miranda says it was teased in Hush. I got to look that up. Hush, I didn't think was that great, though, believe it or not. I think it's overrated. Oh, the strike. Yes. Everyone deserves that payday and less hours that are brutal hours that have been ignored in Hollywood for years. Just people being overworked just because it's the film industry. They think they can have them working 12 hours. They still do it. And they do it in every department. And they got to stop. We need to make it normal hours. I don't care how fast you want to get your show out, your movie out. Now you're going to get me going subversively. Now I'm angry again. Okay, I'm not angry anymore. The book was in Hush too. Okay. She's reading the book in Hush. That's pretty cool. Okay, totally. Kathy says it was weird, but oddly compelling, talking about Squid Games. See how I just sat back and now I look really tiny? Hold on. Yeah, so what's everyone doing on this Wednesday? We're talking Midnight Mass here. We're talking all things TV, I guess now. We're just going with it. What's another question I have for you guys? So, I hope you guys are sad. Are you guys satisfied enough? Tell me the truth with, what my schedule really kind of leans out is that I'm able to film 1 review video a week, maybe 2 if it's a movie with it, and like any interviews that come in. And I have a full-time job still, so this is why. But is that satisfying enough to you guys? Like, does it frustrate you seeing a lot of interviews? Do you want more reviews or vice versa? Let me know. Wow, Clayton says American Horror Story season 10 has been his best since Freak Show. See, I haven't heard anything about it, but that sounds exciting. Happy Little's into AHS as well. Let's go. Thanks, totally, Kathy. You're doing great. That helps a lot. Thank you. The output schedule is great. Wow. Thank you, everybody. This is a real, ego stroke for me. I needed this. Someone, come on. Someone put me in my place. Someone say something humbling. That's going to make me really upset. I need to hear it. So versely, Steve, do top 10s. I want to do top 10s. Not a horrible film fan, says totally Kathy, but love your personality in The Handmaid's Tale. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Get your crap together. Just kidding. Have a little. Thank you. That's what I need to hear. I gotta get it together. I should be doing more, you know? Come on, Steve. Um, oh, okay. I don't know if someone mentioned it, but the actor that plays Joe reenacts episode 3. I'm still disturbed by his death. You know what, Miranda? I did not give him enough credit. That was me in my review. I missed that. I don't know why. It just wasn't on my mind. I think he was really good too. Maybe not as amazing as everyone's saying, but he was really good in that episode. Thanks for bringing that up. Vinny, it seems like you have much more industry insider info on how scripts are written, shows are filmed, etc. So I'd love to hear more reviews that dig deep into this insight. For sure, I'll definitely keep that in mind. Thank you. Without sounding patronizing, it really is your personality that separates you from the rest of the critics. No, keep it coming, Kathy. I love it. I love it. You are sincere and approachable. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Little Joe is the caretaker for Millhouse. I like him. Yeah, he's good. He's good. I'm not sold totally yet, though. He's good, but maybe a little over the top for me. But that's me. Um, no, I really want to debate this Kate Siegel thing, though. Does anyone here think Kate Siegel is not miscast in Midnight Mass? I want someone to toe to toe with me because I think she uncharacteristically dropped the ball here. So I want your thoughts on that. With all that said, I'm not a stalker, totally. I know, Kathy. Uh, don't you worry. Top 10 horror films, top 10 Hitchcock, sci-fis are by decade. I love it, subversely. I'm gonna make them now. Who's supposed to be I have the top? Come again? Uh, Kate was wonderful. Okay, okay. Clayton, this is a bit of a hot take, but Blind Manor is my favorite between Hill House and Menace. I know a couple people who Blind Manor is their favorite, so Blind Manor had a really strong ending and a strong story as well, a strong theme. I mean, Flanagan always kills it with the theme. That's his thing. Did I watch Alice in Borderland? No, I haven't. Let's debate Kate. Okay, Vinny. Uh, Subversively's an idea farm for sure. Joe was supposed to be over the top. Gotcha. Uh, okay. I don't know what to say that. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I still think he was just acting a little over the top. Here's my hot take. Kate was perfectly cast but underdelivered. Okay. No, that's totally fair. I mean, in the day, I think she was miscast and underdelivered. So I do agree with the statement of underdelivered, which was just not like her for me. Um, yeah, her delivery felt mechanic during longer speeches. I agree with that. And you know what? Like I said, I think she did pretty good in most scenes, especially with Riley, but where she dropped the ball, it's just bizarre to me because she's so good. But I thought in the hospital scene, she was just, like I said, a deer in headlights. Like she literally looked like she was just like, didn't know what she was doing. It was so strange to me. Um, Blind Manor scared the shit out of me. I had to watch it during the day. And also, this isn't me being hard. I think Kate Siegel is incredibly talented and I've loved her and everything else. I just, again, think she has to play. She's such a presence that she needs a character that is a force here, not just the, you know, plain character that goes through day to day. It's just not right for me. Okay. Karma. Love that name. Blind Manor was scared the shit out of me. I had to watch it during the day. Okay. Um, Hill House was incredible for sure. The character had the grimy history used to seeing in Kate's other characters, but she didn't channel any of that in her performance at all. Yeah, that's a good point, Vinny. I think you just nailed it. Nailed it. That's an award for Vinny. Um, yeah, so what else? What else? Midnight Mass. What do we guys think of did we think the vampire demon angel thing was cool? Was it goofy? How do you think it looked, the CGI? Did you like the vampire approach? Did you miss more of a just like regular horror? What did you think of that? Because to me, vampire stuff, it's kind of like zombie stuff. Like I actually love zombie stuff, so I shouldn't say that. But I don't know. Vampire is not like my favorite thing to watch. It's not like my favorite genre. It's like, okay, just keeps people sucking each other's necks. Um, let's see. Pillar. My husband loved Kate, but when he said her character wasn't well written, we agree with you. Okay. Thank you. Hooray for Vinny. That's right, says Kathy. Oh, I can see that for Kate. It's fair to say she was holding back. Yeah, maybe. Um, I agree about Kate, says Ellie. She's too strong to play a softie. Yes. I think Victoria Pedretti would be a better choice for sure. It is definitely a Pedretti type role. Okay. Schlemmer says the CGI got wonky a bit when it was well lit at the end of episode 5, start of episode 6 for sure. Good eye on that. Happy Little is wild. The religious twist on the vamps was intriguing. That Bev, wow, yeah, Bev was great. Pretty cool too, because the actress of Bev, Samantha Sloyan, has been in like all his stuff. So this was cool. He gave her like a big role here because she's been usually minor. Um, did you notice some of the repeating cinema shots at all? I think it was in a better I noticed the same shot twice. Thoughts on those? See, like questions like that, like I have to, because I watched it like a month ago, so it's like I'm trying to think in my head. I think it was in the bedroom and it's the same shot twice, he says. I don't have thoughts on that at the moment. I'm sorry, because just my brain. I watched so much stuff, and that was like a month ago. So like it's so specific. But hey, I think you're right. If you want to elaborate. Uh Honestly, my favorite character in Man Mask was a detective. Yeah, he was great. Um, I have not seen Penny Dreadful subversely. Just add it to the list of shows I forgot about that even exist. There's so many shows out. Um, I'm excited though. I mean, Midnight Mass still to me 8.4, like I said, so I liked it a lot. It's again with Flanagan, you're getting way better than most stuff, so be happy with that, right? But again, like I said, I just want greatness. I want his greatness. I know it's there. I think he just gets lost in dialogue sometimes. Okay, Ellie Durden makes good points here. I wish we could understand more about the vampire and its nature. The show was too much plot driven in the second half. I missed some character development. Okay. Um, subversely, what's amazing is that you're okay with getting spoiled here right now because I know you haven't seen the show. Also, the little Kubrick shining zoom in at Monsignor's old photo was kind of on the nose. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I still think it worked, but you're right. A little on the nose. Do I think the angel died? I'm a believer it did because then what's the significance of her cutting the wings out? The holes in them. But they probably left it open ended just in case he makes an appearance in another Flanagan project or they want to revisit Crockett Island or something in that realm. Like I said, I loved when he was doing the visuals of the panels that were like the Stations of the Cross, but it was Pruitt's story. That to me lends that also leaves a door open for like, is there another entity who knows this story? Where are these panels? Right? Does anyone stop and think about that? Like, where are these Pruitt panels? Pretty meta. I like that. Oh yeah, subversively spoiled. All right, she likes it. She's a spoiler head here. Yeah, because we're talking all spoilers here, everybody. Make sure you watched all of Midnight Mass. Yeah, I'm I'm impressed that Flanagan's been popping these out. Like we're getting a Flanagan project, every year and a half, maybe even a year. And it was impressive they were able to film Midnight Mass like during the heat of COVID. It was one of the few shows that was actually filming like pretty much on schedule. And in that time where it was like the vax wasn't out yet. It was just solely based on everyone had to test. So that must have been headaches, on set and a lot of precautions, and they did a good job through that. Um, yeah, I would love the idea of reopening the lore of Midnight Mass of future projects. Hell yeah. And I know some people will say it's like very what's the word? Like maybe silly or cringe or I don't though. I like when they connect things in a universe, and I like if Flanagan brings in more connections. Like I like when they hint at Hill House stuff. I want more of that. I am into that. I always think that's fun. I don't know. Maybe that comes from Marvel getting that in my head. Like I think anyone gets excited when you're connecting things in a certain universe. So it doesn't have to be big things, but little dots, little Easter eggs is always fun. I think it's just a fun thing for diehard Flanagan fans. But it's great. I mean, he's cemented himself now as like our modern Stephen King, but that he's a trustworthy director and horror, and writer. So that's awesome. And it's great that we have that. I would say him, Ari Aster, um, you know, forgetting his name, the director of The Witch. These are big horror directors right now. James Wan still, of course, and they're great. They put great stuff. So it's exciting times. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm losing my voice here. Oh, and Jordan Peele, yes, of course. Um, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I had a fun hour with everyone here. Thank you for being here. Uh, again, you know, I love all you. I love your thoughts. I think you make me a more smart film and TV person because of you guys. So it's an extension of you guys. And I'm not just saying that. So yeah, thank you everybody and for being here. I appreciate it. It was fun. Um, thank you. And sure, yeah, Vinny, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being I appreciate I notice every single one of you. And yeah, let me know if you want me to do more of these Let's Talk Live. What I want to do is do these when I'm gonna be reviewing Dexter, right? And Wheel of Time. When I'm done with the season, then we do one where we all can talk as a group. So I'm trying to do that for everything I cover. Um, I have Halloween Kills for you horror fans. I am gonna get an early screener for that, which I'm pumped about. I'm gonna be reviewing that. So a Halloween's Kills review will be out. I'll tell you right now, it will be out. My review next Tuesday. Yes, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday night, Halloween's Kill review you're gonna see. Um, and what else I got down the pipeline? I got an interview with Carlson Young, who's a new horror director, but she's a famous actress. So you can check that out. That's coming up. I got Sydney Park, who starred in There's Someone Inside Your House on Netflix out today, another horror film. And that was a really great interview. And I got returning to the show, Madison Eisman, great actress, and she's starring in I Know What You Did Last Summer, the show. So these are all these interviews coming down that I already did. I hope you like. I'm trying to get more. And yeah, to keep just grinding. And let me see these last comments. I have the strange gut feeling that Flanagan will eventually get picked up by Marvel like most indie directors. I was like, maybe, but that's also I don't know if Flanagan will do that, but money talks, right? Clayton Kelly, thank you. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Clayton. Subversely Surreal, yes, I can handle a spoiler to the TV show. I'm kind of seriously involved in trying to save Palestine, trying to stop Igor. Love you, Steve. Barry Lyndon on TC. Thanks, Subversively. Peter Griffin, I take it Father Paul was able to be in the sunlight since he didn't die in the cave and actually died in episode 3 of Poison. And that's a great note to leave off on by Peter. Thanks, Peter. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, stay classy.